Thank you.
If you didn't notice, we tidied up a little bit. Oh, the camera's shaking. Right.
Yeah.
All right, so the Octomore is a
hot sauces on the table. Okay, good.
super heavily peated.
Super heavily.
Welcome to Whisky and BBQ. We have Evan, Aiden, and Josh.
That's
Cheers.
his line.
Well, we're not here because, hey, look at us, we're on YouTube. We're here because there's whiskey here, and that's really what binds us all together, right?
God, I told you, man, sleep on a bed.
So here's Josh from Cask Strength. Here's Chaos, which if you haven't seen Chaos, take down some some of this. I'll link to the video. No problems. I'm
basically
not gonna put you through that again.
almost came back to Jesus.
Yeah. We're going to give him another 30 minutes before he himself, but that's part of the deal anyway. So here we are with Octomore. You don't have
fire.
You have Octomore? So it's you and I.
Yeah, we do.
We
Oh, we
all
all three do?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well, this is my first time, so be gentle, boys.
It's your first time,
Yeah, this
Octomore?
is my first time.
Do you need a pillow to bite, or
Yeah.
Real men
maybe a
don't
kitchen
bite
sink
us.
to kind of grip onto?
Take it like a man.
So not only is this Octomore, this is the most heavily peated Octomore that they've ever made.
Oh, really?
So on average, like your Ardbeg 10, your Laphroig is 40 to 50 parts per million as they measure it, right?
They turned this one up to 11.
This Octomore, so regular Octomore is about
stronger.
Regular Octomore is about 150, 180 ppm. This is 309.
Whoa! God damn!
Just gonna pull down my pants and whip that out.
Octomore.
You can
It's
smell
a dick
it.
measuring contest in a bottle. And they even have it like it looks very chemically official.
Yep.
Yeah. See that? It's like
With
looks
that
like it
beautiful
came from the CDC.
with that beautiful, sexy frosted glass.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. If you haven't tried Octomore is if Scotch was not doing anything on a Friday and wanted to kick back and drink a Scotch. It's a Scotch's Scotch.
Yes, that would be what this is. So Ryan, who's usually sitting here, he says that he likes smoke in a whiskey, but he doesn't like peat in a whiskey. And
Yeah.
I can understand that. If you do a peat wrong, it's horrible.
Yeah.
It's horrible. It's like burnt rust.
Burnt rust.
Burnt rust. Let's say like you
thought
had
about
a
Need an example.
64
Rust on
Chevrolet
fire.
C10 with an exhaust pipe that's made out of rust now, and you replace the rear axle and the part of the tailpipe just falls off.
I
Maybe
see.
you get a little dust in your mouth. And you kind of... That is burnt peat.
You're like, cool, I got tetanus now.
To me,
Right,
to me, a peat that's gone wrong is kind of like, me being 26. I'll use my references. It's like if you go on a Tinder date, right? And you think the chick might be DTF. She's real classy, but then you sit down, at your favorite man bun based establishment, and right when you sit down, she kind of looks around and drops the N-word right then and there. That's kind of what a bad peat can be like. A good peat would
that
be
point-
not that at all.
No, you're trying to find your way out of that.
Yeah, where you're
hole,
like,
but
well, and you're also thinking like, am I a bad person if I still get with her? Like, I don't condone it.
You're like, that was real
But
awkward.
it's been a while, man.
That was real awkward, but I still kind of dig it though.
Like you're a shitty person, but I think I got a chance.
So what you're saying is, yeah, there's a lot of peat in here, but I'm just going to swallow.
Yeah. Power through, baby.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, no, that's Octomore though is definitely, it's almost like Who Killed Roger Rabbit, like Jessica Rabbit. Like it's just a classy
Yeah,
rod.
it's not peat gone wrong.
No,
it's
it's
heavy
no.
peat, but it's done right.
Yeah, no N-word, no
And
nothing.
Jessica Rabbit
Yep.
is all sorts of right.
That's the remarkable thing about this is for unbelievable amount of peat in there. So well balanced.
Exactly. It's like
Sexy, seductive.
somebody's playing
Easily.
patty cake with Jessica Rabbit.
It's like somebody, it's almost like you throw yourself into a Casablanca-esque like noir. So there I was. The dame came in. She knew it was my one day off on the week, but she was paying, and I was taking money.
Octomore. It's like Tinder for 1930s.
It'll briefly turn you into Humphrey Bogart.
It's everything you want and nothing you don't.
I knew this dame was trouble.
As she sat down in my office that smelled like nothing but cigars, regret, and last night's whiskey.
Octomore. For the nights you'll maybe remember.
And then she dropped the N-word. Boom! It was a peat gone wrong! Oh.
No, this is really
I
well
love
done.
it.
I like on the peat, and we did this, Ryan and I were talking about this with the Ardbeg, is that with a good peat, you can taste it in like the bottom parts of your mouth. Those taste buds really pick it up, and there's a nice flavor there. But then, if you have a really well done whiskey, there's also a nice top end that balances it out.
Yeah.
It's got that earthy base element, but also a floral element on top, right?
I definitely agree.
Yeah.
Not to the point where it drags it down or throws it off balance or anything. This is really nice.
Well, and I said it in one of the other videos that may or may not even get published. It depends. We got pretty sauced up towards the end. Well, I did. No, I like whiskeys like this that make you slow down. Like you can't shoot Octomore comfortably.
That's true.
You can physically do it, but your body is gonna hate you. And but you get something like this and you sip it, and it's just there's so much going on. It's complex. It's like a J.R.R. Tolkien novel. Like there's just a whole world inside of there.
You don't want to just fly through it. You want to kind of sit back, let it soak in a little bit before you go to the next one.
You want to Oregon Trail that motherfucker. You want to go right through there.
Do you guys get like any sort of like salty sort of sea maritime type elements to it?
I could like
briny, yeah.
I could kind of see that actually, especially in the nose.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
The barley that went into this whiskey was grown on the island of Isla in Scotland.
The Isla Island?
Yeah,
that's
which is where the Bruichladdich distillery is located.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Isn't that like right next to like Lagavulin, stuff like that?
Yeah, Lagavulin, Laphroig, Ardbeg,
like a lot of those,
Bamor, Coloman, all those distilleries. All the stuff that's
Ryan, but he's back.
And he
all
looks
of your
like
favorite distilleries. Yeah,
the face he's making right now. He looks like John Belushi when he's trying to be a samurai.
I'm excited because Aiden remembers.
I think this is a good time for
him.
Ryan stories.
Is it Ryan's story time?
I think it's Ryan's story time.
Oh, I'm just excited that Aiden remembered something I taught him.
I smell
About Isla?
Yeah.
shortbread and green apple and Sour Patch Kids.
Are these?
Josh, where did you pick this up at?
A friend of mine, Wade, his store that he goes to in Dallas happened to get a bottle of this in, and this is not so much Wade's kind of whiskey, but he knew it was mine, so he texted me and said, "Hey, I've got an Octomore 8.3 up here." And I said, "Yeah, I'll take it."
Yeah,
and
why
then
not?
I went to a store here in Austin, and they had a dozen 1.75 liter of Weller 107. And I texted him a picture. I said, "Hey, man, you want any of these?" He said, "How many they got?" I said, "Looks like there's about a dozen on the shelf here." He goes, "I'll take them."
Remember when I got excited for finding the 107 at Chris's?
Here's another Ryan story. You brought it on your. So what do you guys usually spend on a bottle of a cask strength whiskey?
I mean, that really depends. I don't really have a price point, I'd say. This Octomore is a hard to find, kind of sought out. It's almost a cult whiskey, right? Like people seek it out. It's really limited edition. It's a niche thing. I really like it. I've sought out a handful of bottles, but just a cask strength bourbon or something, say from Balcones.
Yeah, I was going to say Balcones. You brought over several bottles.
Yeah, a couple of those are cask strength whiskeys. Those tend to be about $80.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
it's not necessarily about price point or about how rare it is or anything like that. I've got things like this that are on the higher ends, and there's great whiskey that's sub $100.
Okay.
Yeah.
And here comes a strong fastball. What is your daily? What is your go-to when it's you go to work and so from such and such did the same thing that you already talked about for
Usually
the past
Karen
3
from
weeks?
accounting.
It's always
Seriously.
Karen, isn't it?
Right.
Got the bob haircut.
you know,
Always talking to the manager.
Drinker, whenever you finally get to Bali, it kills you in like 3 days.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? At my company, it really is Karen.
Karen, if you're out there, I guess I'm really not
Just
sorry.
kidding, Karen. But it is Karen. Oh
my God.
But not Karen actually, but theoretically.
So if
I got you.
Carl,
Carl.
and then you come home and you're just like, oh, it's Tuesday. Cheers. What do you drink?
Balcony single malt.
Nice. Good choice.
The American barrel?
Yeah, that was a single barrel that I brought over, but just any variation of that. I've got a couple single barrels, or even just the regular off the shelf, regular one. That's fine.
Not the Brimstone or the PX?
Those are kind of special, like Brimstone. All right, Brimstone is one that I have to want that thing that day. It's not a go-to. I can drink it anytime.
Makes sense.
Brimstone PX, very limited, special edition, once in a while.
Still, gotta be mentally prepared to go to that.
Yeah, it's got to be what I'm after that day. But anytime I could drink Balcony single malt.